Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. This is Nita B coming back at you. I am here to discuss, you guessed it, 6 key holders, or key holders we should say, because some of these are 6 key, some of these are 5 key, and some of them, well, one of them is a 4 key. So this is basically my key holder collection. I'm gonna kind of put them down here so that I'm not like having to hold them all at once. These two are the newest to my collection. These are both from the Coach outlet, and I bought them on coachoutlet.com. They actually arrived a couple days ago, and as you can tell, I got into this one immediately. I'm actually carrying this one today. I carried this one yesterday, but I just love the design of this one, so I wanted to try this one out. This is the one that I've probably been carrying the most, which is the Louis Vuitton 6-key holder. Again, these are 5-key holders, and this is a 6-key holder. The other one that I was carrying quite a bit for a couple of years is my Prada 6-key holder as well. And then I tried to sort of mix it up a bit a couple years ago, and I purchased these two. These are both Coach. One of them is in a canvas material. I believe I got these both, I believe, from the outlet. I'm pretty sure I did. And this one is like in the signature C, but this one is leather. And this is a 4-key holder, believe it or not. So the ones that, like I said, I use the most or had been using the most are these two, my Prada and my Louis Vuitton. The reason being is that I found this one just to be too small, a little bit too narrow. And this one, I don't know, I thought the design of it was cute, but then after I got it home and started looking at it, I just found it to be kind of not really my style. So I might be getting rid of this one. But it is, like I said, a 6-key holder. It does hold 6 keys. I think someone on YouTube who did a video about this pointed out that one of the key holders has a larger hoop on it. This part sort of flips up. Again, I'm not sure why, but it does flip up. And then behind that is there's another piece of leather, and you can actually put cards back here. Right now I have 4 cards plus like a little skinny like business card type card, because I kind of wanted to mimic what I have in my other card holders that I use all the time. This one is unique, or the Coach ones are unique in that they have 2 buttons here, so you can adjust how wide you make these. So even on the newer models, again, this is the 5-key holder. This is in pebble leather. Well, actually it's grain leather. It's not pebble. It's more like a Saffiano type leather. And that's inside and out for this one. It's a 5-key holder. It again has this little back slip area where you can slip cards back there. And I'll show you on the one I'm using today because they're made exactly the same layout. Again, it has 2 buttons here, so you can adjust the width depending on how large your keys are or how many cards you have that you're carrying. The thing that I like most about these key holders is that it allows you not only to carry your keys, but you can put some credit cards, your ID, and just kind of be ready to go. You don't have to, carry another wallet or anything like that, especially if you have a smaller bag. These are very convenient. Also, they protect your purse from your keys, like especially if you have a purse that has leather lining. It'll protect that leather lining from getting scratched or worse with these pouches here. The unique thing I found about the Coach, the new style Coaches in particular, is that they have this, let me open this one up, because actually I'm using this one. They have here this little snap here, and you can actually take this key off, and I use this one as for my key fob. It will fit, up here as well, but having it there is actually really convenient because I think someone pointed out also on YouTube that you can use this kind of as like your valet. Maybe that was the design feature idea behind this. But if you're valet parking your car, you can just take this off and you can keep your wallet and your rest of your keys with you. But this is super convenient, not only for that feature, but if you have multiple of the Coach brand, which I now have 2 of them like this, you can just kind of switch these out without having to take the actual key off of the ring. Just take that one off, slip this one on, and then you just transfer your cards in here and you're good to go. So I really like that. Let me stick that back so I don't lose it. And because this Coach's style has this function, where it has this little extra snap down here, so it's actually like almost like a 7 key holder. Well, 6, I guess, technically, because it's 5 plus the 1, you have 6. The reason I like that is because it allows you to really maximize your space inside of this and also reduce your structure where by having to have your key fob kind of inside. I mean, it'll fit, but look how you're kind of stretching your item, and it just doesn't look as pretty, right? So I do really like that it kind of hangs underneath, and it's still, this is not a sharp item, so you don't have to worry about this damaging your purse. And so this is Louis Vuitton's version of it. And notice that with the Louis Vuitton one, again, it only has one snap here. And this is a Louis Vuitton 6 key holder in Dame Bean. And I have it in the rose ballerine color. So it has a rose ballerine leather covered button. The inside is also in Dame Bean. I'm sorry, it's in the rose ballerine. This is a leather on the inside. And it's like a grain leather, similar to this Coach leather. So because it doesn't have like that extra feature down here, like another little snap hook for the key fob, the key fob has to be stored on the inside. Or at least I store it on the inside. You can store it on the inside like that. It only has one snap, so you can't adjust how wide this is, how much pressure you put on this thing. The only option you have, and this is an option, you can flip that out and carry your keys like this. Now, I don't usually choose this option, but it is an option. And then if you do it that way, it puts less stress on the actual wallet, key holder. Now, what's very uniquely different about this one versus the Coach, actually versus any of the other ones, and I'll use this one as an example since this doesn't have anything really in it. The way that, and I don't even know what the purpose of this is unless, again, if you kind of want to use it like the Coach one where you take this bottom key hook off altogether. There's an option here or a feature that this part right here, you can actually, they're like two little parts on either side, and you can push this down and then you can slide. If you push them both down, you can actually slide this bar over and actually take key hooks off. And again, I don't know why you would want to do that other than if you just want to grab a key off and you don't want to leave it on. You know, if you're valeting your car and you want to just take off maybe this one, so you would put it on this end, you can easily just take that piece off and then keep the whole wallet to yourself. So I guess maybe that's why they have that there like that. But I thought that was interesting and unique. In terms of the how sturdy I think these are. So let me just talk about the Prada ones. This is another one. This is a 6 key holder that I've used quite a bit. This one here, I purchased, so I got this one in 2016 in France, and I didn't really use it that much. I don't think I used it really until the following year. So maybe like April or May of 2017. Well, in the meantime, I had gotten this one in March of 2017 from the Prada outlet in Orlando. And I thought it was super cute. And I kind of wish they had another, I think they had a red color as well. I wish I had gotten that one too. So this one is leather. It's almost like, it's not like, it kind of reminds me of the Louis Vuitton, the Epi leather. Except it's not as hard. This is very soft, almost like a calf leather. Very soft. It can scratch, but it doesn't scratch as easy. It's actually like a striated kind of look. That's why it reminds me of the Epi. But it's much softer than the Epi. It also does not have any glazing on the ends. Like the other ones that I have, all the other 6 key holders I have all have glazing on the end. Coach's glazing is much thicker, much more substantial. Louis Vuitton has glazing, but I mean, I've had this for over 3 years now, so the glazing is coming off. But to be honest, it was already coming off. It wasn't like that thick when I first got it. So um, this one, on the other hand, doesn't have glazing. This is actually leather that's folded over and then they stitched it. I'm not sure which is better, other than maybe this one is better because you don't have to worry about getting it reglazed. But of course, if the leather sort of wears out, then you have to worry about getting it I don't know, another piece of leather put on and re-sewn. I haven't had that to be an issue, and I've used this quite a bit. Like between the two of these, I've used one of these every day for probably 2-3 years. And the leather, it still looks pretty good. It doesn't look brand new. It does look pretty worn, I would say, around the edges. Um, but other than that, it works. It's in good shape. The one thing I will say about the Prada one is that I don't know if you'll be able to tell. See this, but these hooks are. This is what you use to actually hook your keys on, and if the hook space in between, like the actual hook and like where this part here, in some of these it's like really wide, and in some of them they're very close together. Like most of these are pretty wide compared to use Coach, especially and I would say, these are newer, so maybe it gets wider as you use it. But honestly, Coach was like this from the. I mean, the Prada one was like this from the beginning. That's a problem because what I have found is that when I put my key holder on here, and I'll take this one off of this one here, and I'll just try to put it on there. It's very easy to get it on. But unless I use like a thicker sort of key ring to attach it to the 6 key holder, it slides off, especially if I were to use this one here, which is very thin. In comparison, it would just always slide off of this keyhole, off of the little key hook. So if I try to do it like this, in my purse, this would always fall off. So that was a big issue. And so the way this one typically, how I was carrying this one the same way that I was using the Louis Vuitton one. Oh, that's okay. Let me just show you. So this one, let me just show you if I can get it to work. Okay, so this kind of just goes on super easy. No effort was needed to hook this on here. However, when it's in my purse, it's going to fall off very easily. Like if this gets moved around, toss it around a little bit, it's going to fall off. And so that had become a problem for me. And so I could never really leave this out like this. I would always have to put it in here like this and snap it. And with the key fob in the Prada one, it doesn't close at the top and bottom. This one has 2 snaps, but one's at the top, one's at the bottom. It doesn't close at the bottom if you have the key fob in there. Okay. What else can I say about this one? Yeah, that's about it. In terms of the details of the design, and just how many details there are on this versus the Coach one, I should say, versus the Louis Vuitton. Let's just compare those two for a second. And again, this is the newer model Coach one. And functionality. So Coach, in terms of the size, they're about the same size. The Coach one is about a 1/4 inch shorter, I would say. In terms of the width, they're about the same. Not much difference there. Coach, in terms of the details, on the button for Louis Vuitton, it just has the button. There's nothing written there. It's just the leather tab. And this leather tab, I wish I hadn't gotten it like this because almost immediately the leather got kind of rubbed off and messed up. I know some people will like put nail polish on top of this to keep it looking nice, but I didn't want to put anything extra on there, so I didn't. The Coach one, on the other hand, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but it has in writing Coach. I think it said, yeah, Coach New York, actually written on the button. And the hardware for the Coach one is in the gunmetal. So it's like almost like a black hardware. If you open this one up, there are 3 slots you can put stuff. One here, one in the middle behind the keys, and then one on the other side. And these are large enough to actually put I would just put cash or some kind of or receipts or something like that here. You probably could put cards on the sides, but it's much easier to put them behind the keys, and it folds and closes a lot easier. Um, and again, in terms of the design, the details, you have Coach stamped here, Coach New York stamped here. Let's see. You flip the keys over. On the actual metal plate on the buttons here, you have Coach New York stamped there. You have it again stamped on this button, Coach New York. And then also on the key holder for the one that comes off, it says Coach and then Coach again, just on the one side. On this side, the buttons also have Coach New York stamped there. So they paid attention to a lot of detail on this one, and I like it and appreciate it quite a bit. Like I said, the glazing is very thick, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. I will say this about the Coach glazing, because I have a Coach, my Nomad Hobo, that was one of the first bags that I bought with the new creative director. That was in 2015. And it also had glazing around the handle of the bag. And I noticed fairly quickly, like within 3 months, because I carried it nonstop for 3 months. That's how much I love that bag. The glazing on that handle started to wear, and so it started to come off a bit. So I would imagine with extended wear on this, that may happen as well. But I'll keep an eye on that and keep you posted. All right, in terms of the Louis Vuitton. So again, this is what it looks like. It's just canvas on the outside. On the inside, it's leather. It does have a stamp here, kind of like the authenticity stamp. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. It's Louis Vuitton Paris, made in France is what it says. It's in gold writing. You can't really see it very well. On the button, there's nothing stamped there on that button. On the metal plate here that holds the key at the very top, it does say Louis Vuitton up there. And that's it. There's nothing else on this. I will say, and this is true whether it's the light color one and it's probably true for all key holders, but because it's light colored, and even on the one, I don't have it, but on the ones without without any coloring on them, the keys will blacken the leather on the inside. So that doesn't look very nice, but it's pretty easily wiped out with like a leather cleaner or whatever. And again, because you have to, because it doesn't have the extra little key holder at the bottom like the Coach does, you have to put the key fob on the inside, or like I said, you can flip it out. I like it to be more compact, so I like to have it all together. And so by doing it this way, you actually end up putting more stress, I think, on the actual item. There's like a little bit of bump right here on the key fob. Versus the Coach, you don't have that issue. I have, like I said, been using this for about 3 years or so now. And it's starting to wear that some of the strings from the canvas are starting to come loose or come off or come out. But it's not that bad. But you can definitely see some strings here at the top kind of coming out. The glazing itself, it probably does need to be reglazed. Because if you don't get it reglazed and it starts to actually tear, like if the canvas tears, then Louis Vuitton won't fix it for you. Now, of course, at this point, I would have to pay them to reglaze it. But at least that's an option at this point. And again, there's like strings coming up here as well. Let's see. What else can I say about these? Oh, let me talk about price. Oh, before I talk about price, let me talk about how many cards. So this one here, I can fit 4 credit cards and like a little business card. And it fits very easily back here. Okay. For the Coach one, I can do the same thing. Getting it out is a little bit more challenging, and I think that is because the Louis Vuitton one is a little bit longer. But again, um, I have, let's see, well, I have 4 cards. One of them is my ID. I typically just carry 2 credit cards, my ID, and my coffee card. So that I try to put the similar amounts of things in both of these cards so you can kind of see how it looks. So they both are carrying about the same amount of stuff. And again, the Coach one is just, it looks perfect there. It's not, being stretched in any way. Again, part of that is because the key fob isn't in there. However, if you flip the key fob inside, like that, it of course does get more distorted. And if I actually put it, let me take it off and actually put it on the hook, because that will be more similar to compared to what the actual Louis Vuitton one looks like. Okay, so there. But still, I would say that the Coach one has more give. It's not the Louis Vuitton one. So I said that the height of the Louis Vuitton was longer, but I feel like the width of the Coach one is more. Like the Coach one is wider. If you can see that, probably by like a 1/4 inch as well. Maybe you can see it better this way. And so that extra width allows for it not to be as tight when you put your key fob in there. But again, I wouldn't do mine like this. I would actually, since we have the space down here for the key fob, that's where I would put it. Because it's so easy. What else can I say? Oh, price. So the Coach one, I got it again from outlet.com. I paid $29 for it online. And actually I can kind of kick myself because it was on sale for like $24.50 for about a week. And I was trying to see if I can get it at the outlet, which is near me, the actual store, to see if they had all the colors. Because I wanted to get it in the black. They had a black one like this. They had a black one like this. And so I was going to get it in like 3 or 4 colors and see which one I liked best. And then I waited too late. I went to the outlet store and they didn't. All they had was a black one, so I didn't get that one. And then when I got back, it was too late. The sale was no longer on. That being said, this was $29. This one was $250 when I got it. Now I got it from Paris, so it was cheaper. I think it was like maybe $175 I paid or something like that. But it has been $250 for a long time. I believe with the price increase, this is a little bit higher now, maybe $260 or $275. I'm not for sure on that. But this is close to 10 times the price of the Coach one. And honestly, I would say the Coach, in terms of functionality and in terms of design, I think it's a superior product. Now, again, I'll let you know how this wears because I'm going to try to wear this religiously for a while and see. But I think this one is a superior product. Okay. Now, I didn't talk much about the rest of these. In particular, the 6-key holder from Coach and the 4-key holder from Coach. I do have 4 cards in both of these. Just to show that you can, use it that way. Or they do fit. But I don't have any cards in here. And so that was one of the biggest issues with this one is that you really can't fit that much in there without it getting distorted quite a bit. So I just never carried this one that much. So I'll probably be getting rid of this one. This 6-key holder, this part here doesn't come off. So once you put your key fob on there, it just has to stay. And that's perfectly fine. This one was more of it's just not as cute as I would like it to be thing as to why I didn't use it. But in terms of functionality, it functions. similar to the newer model Coach one, but uh, the canvas is a lot uh, thicker, I think, on this one and more stiff. I would say. I said thicker, maybe not thicker. It's just stiffer. In terms of how big it is, the length of this one is closer to the length of the Louis Vuitton. Actually, I think it's longer than the Louis Vuitton one as well. Let's see. Yeah, it's about a quarter inch, maybe more than the Louis Vuitton, so probably half an inch longer than the Coach, the new model Coach. Again, this is a 6-key holder. It does have on this side, it has Coach written in embossed. The button doesn't have anything on it on the inside, and none of the buttons up here have anything written on it. It does have Coach stamped here, which is different from the newer model ones. It has Coach on the actual button. You know what? Since I have it here, let me just take some keys out and see if I can put them on here really quickly, and at least show you what this one looks like when it has keys on it. I will say this as well: the key hooks on the Coach are much tighter for sure. Okay. So, okay, I'm gonna have to take the key fob off the inside. The key fob won't fit on the inside with all the cards that I have on here already. So I have to take the key fob off and put it at the bottom where, I would normally put it anyway. Okay. And it fits the buttons. I can snap it on the first buttonhole, and that hangs out just like that, and it's just as functional. So this is, a great key holder. There's no, like hanging the key fob on the outside, it works great. If you want something more compact, then you can actually fit the key fob inside of here, inside of the Louis Vuitton one. That works too. In terms of price of this one, I believe when I got this was maybe $40. And this one was probably similar in price, maybe similar. It was probably similar in price. I couldn't actually find the receipt for these. I'm sure they're on my computer somewhere, but the Prada one, I believe, was $99. Pretty sure it was $99. So that is my reveal, and opinion on my key holders, we'll call them, because some of them are 5, 4, and 6. Thank you so much for watching. Please comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.